Damian Robert Nesta Junior Gong Marley, is a Jamaican reggae artist. Damian is the youngest son of reggae legend Bob Marley. Damian was only 2 years old when his father, Bob Marley, died. He is the only child born to Marley and Cindy Breakspeare, Miss World 1976. Damian's nickname Junior Gong is derived from his father's nickname of Tuff Gong. Damian has been performing since the age of 13. Career, early releases: at age 13, he formed a musical group by the name of the Shepherds, which included the daughter of Freddie McGregor and son of Third World's Catcall. The group opened the 1992 Reggae Sunsplash Festival. The band fell apart in the early 1990s and Damian started his solo career. With the backing of his Fidera unregistered trademark S label, Tuff Gong, he released his 1996 debut album Mr. Marley, which surprised many who were unaccustomed to hearing a Marley Jane rather than singing. Marley released his second studio album Halfway Tree. The name Halfway Tree comes from his mother, Cindy Breakspeare, being from the rich part of town, and his father, Bob Marley, coming from the poor part of town, thus him being a tree halfway in between the rich world and poor world. Additionally, Halfway Tree is a well-known landmark that marks the cultural center of Halfway Tree. The clock tower that stands where the historical eponymous cotton tree once stood is featured prominently behind Marley on the cover of the album. The album was released on September 11, 2001 and received the 2002 Grammy Award for Best Reggae Album. It was co-produced by Damian Marley and his brother Stephen Marley. Welcome to Jamrock. Marley released his third studio album Welcome to Jamrock, which was released on September 12, 2005 in the United States and September 13, 2005 in the United Kingdom. The sold 86,000 copies in its first week of release, and was eventually certified gold after selling 500,000 copies in the United States. Other notable singles from the album include The Master Has Come Back, Road to Zion featuring Nas, and Khaki Suit featuring Bounty Killer and EK Mouse. Damian unregistered trademark S brother, Stephen Marley, was a producer and co-writer of the hugely successful song of the same name. The lyrics to the single Welcome to Jamrock, which was performed over a rhythm produced by Sly and Robbie Finnegan some 20 years earlier, centered around poverty, politics and crime in Jamaica. While the single was controversial at home over its perceived negative viewpoint of the island, many praised the content of the song. Dr. Clinton Hutton, professor at the University of the West Indies, said of the single, Jamrock uses the icon of the inner city, of alienation, of despair, of prejudice, but of hope, of Jamaican identity, to remind us of the fire of frustration, the fire of creativity, the fire of warning to open up our eyes and look within to the life we are living. And still some of us don't want to hear and to look and say enough is enough. The single reached number 13 on the UK singles chart and number 55 on the US Billboard Hot 100 chart. It was also number 100 on the Top 100 Songs of the Decade listing by Rolling Stone. Distant relatives. At the 2009 Grammy Awards, he won Best Reggae Album and Best Urban Alternative Performance for Welcome to Jamrock. He is the only Jamaican reggae artist in history to win 2 Grammy Awards on the same night. He is also the only reggae artist to win in the Best Urban Alternative Performance category at the Grammy Awards. At the 2009 Grammy Awards, news of a collaborative album between Marley and Nas was announced, when Nas told MTV reporters, "Right now, I'll tell you first, I'm working on an album with Damian Marley. We trying to build some schools in Africa with this one, and trying to build empowerment. We're trying to show love and stuff with this album. So, the record's all about really the hood and Africa also as well." On May 17, 2010, Marley released Distant Relatives, a collaborative album with Nas. The album title refers not only to the bond between the artists, but the connection to their African ancestry, which inspired the album both musically and lyrically. They have previously collaborated on OE Road to Zion on Marley unregistered trademark S Welcome to Jamrock album. The album joins 2 different flavors of music with Marley unregistered trademark S dub rock aesthetic and NASA unregistered trademark flow. Damian and Stephen produced much of the album. The proceeds of this album will go to building schools in the Congo. The album debuted at number 5 on the US Billboard 200 chart with first-week sales of 57,000 copies. It serves as Nas's 10th top 10 album and Marley's second top 10 album in the United States. The album also entered at number 4 on Billboard's digital albums, and at number 1 on its R&B hip-hop albums, rap albums, and reggae albums charts. Internationally, Distant Relatives attained some chart success. It entered at number 33 on the European Top 100 Albums chart. In the United Kingdom, it debuted at number 30 on the UK Albums chart and at number 4 on the R&B Albums chart. In Canada, the album entered at number 9 on the Top 100 Albums chart. In Germany, it debuted at number 38 on the Media Control charts. The first single, As We Enter, was released on iTunes on February 23, 2010. It has so far peaked at number 10 on the iTunes hip-hop rap charts and number 41 on the iTunes music charts. The single debuted at number 39 on the UK singles chart. At a sold-out panel discussion on the African diaspora and its relation to music, sponsored by National Geographic, Damian and Stephen Marley and Nas were among the several hip-hop and reggae musicians voicing their solidarity. The discussion focused on the collaborations between artists of the two genres, and highlighted the Distant Relatives project. Superheavy. The existence of Superheavy was secret until May 2011. Mick Jagger, English musician and the lead vocalist of rock band The Rolling Stones, announced its formation on May 20, 2011. Superheavy was Dave Stewart's idea. Inspired by the sounds washing into his home in St. Ann's Bay, Jamaica, Stewart urged Jagger to fuse their sound with that of Indian orchestras. Stewart and Jagger had mutual liking for Indian orchestrations. Thus, A.R. Rahman was added to the supergroup. The name of the band is said to be inspired by Muhammad Ali. The group began recording their self-titled debut album in early 2009 at a studio in Los Angeles. They recorded about 35 hours of music, with some songs originally lasting an hour and 10 minutes before they were whittled down. The album was previewed at Jim Henson Studios, Los Angeles, on June 30, 2011. The band played 8 of the recorded songs at the event. Miracle Worker was released on iTunes as the album's lead single on July 7, 2011. It is a reggae song performed by Marley, Stone and Jagger. The single entered at number 195 on the UK singles chart. The music video was released on YouTube on August 12, 2011. Directed by Stewart and filmed at Paramount Studios in Los Angeles, the video features all 5 members of the band. Satyameva Jayadh was released as the second single from the album on August 9, 2011, a week before India's Independence Day on August 15. Composed by Rahman to have an Indian feel, Jagger sings in Sanskrit on the song, which also features Stewart, Stone and Marley. The song premiered exclusively on Radio Mercury 98.3 Fathoms on August 9 across 22 Indian cities, and Tata Dukomo is set to simultaneously promote the song and the album on mass media. Beautiful People reached number 64 on the Dutch single Top 100 chart. Damian also worked with electronic artist Skrillex on a song called Make It Bun Dem in 2012. This song also appears in the 2012 game Far Cry 3. Musical style: Marley has described his music as dancehall and reggae. I've noticed people trying to separate the two of them, he continues. It's Jamaican culture in general. I don't try to classify or separate. Distant Relatives fused hip-hop and reggae musical elements. Marley and Nas also incorporated samples from African music into the album. The album's lyrical content heavily revolves around themes concerning Africa, from ancestry and poverty, with social commentary of the United States and Africa. The track Count Your Blessings reflects on the plight of Africa. Personal life: born as Damian Robert Nesta Marley, he was nicknamed Junior Gong in honor of his legendary father, Bob Tuff Gong Marley. His mother, Cindy Breakspeare, is a Jamaican jazz musician, former model and crowned Miss World 1976. After seeing the movie Damian, Omen 2, which is about the coming of the Antichrist. One of Bob unregistered trademark's last requests in Germany was to have Damian unregistered trademark's name changed. OE Damian being a devil. It was inappropriate for him as a Rastafarian to have a child with that name, Bob said, and Damian unregistered trademark's name was later changed. He has 12 siblings total. 10 on his father's side and 2 on his mother's side. Marley has been in the music business since he was a child. He is a Rastafarian and his music reflects both his beliefs and the Rastafari guiding principles of one love, one planet, and freedom for all nations. He has a son, Elijah, who was born on August 19, 2009. While he travels and tours the better part of the year, his home base is split between Kingston, Jamaica and Miami, Florida. He has a younger half-brother Christian and a half-sister Leah from his mother Cindy. Discography, studio albums, singles, other charted songs, references. External links, Damian Marley on MySpace.